Hello and welcome to Z Videos. In this video, we'll be exploring 31 fascinating things you didn't know about Britain. From its rich history to its cultural quirks, we'll take a closer look at some of the most interesting and surprising facts about this incredible country. So sit back, relax, and let's discover 31 things you didn't know about Britain. 1. Most people refer to the clock tower next to the Houses of Parliament as Big Ben. However, that is only the name of the 13-ton bell inside. The actual tower is known as St. Stephen's Tower. 2. The Brits invented the first adhesive postage stamp used in a public postal system, back in 1840. The penny black had a picture of Queen Victoria on it, and as the name suggests, cost 1 penny. Before that time, it was usually the recipient who paid the postage price, which varied according to how far the letter had traveled. 3. After the penny black stamp came the penny red. This was introduced as once a penny black had been used, the post service would cross the stamp out in red to show it had been used. Lots of people discovered you could easily wipe this off and reuse the stamps. Once the penny red came in, black ink was used to cross out the stamp, making them much harder to reuse. 4. Golf was invented in Scotland and can be traced back to 1457. However, it was outlawed for a while by King James II of Scotland, as it detracted from the army's training. 5. Meanwhile, the old golf course at St Andrews Links in Fife, Scotland is the oldest golf course in the world. There's an historic charter dating back to 1552 which mentions people can continue the playing at golf, football, shooting at all gammies, with all youth or manner of pastime as Evertide plays. 6. The Welsh town of Llanfairpwll Gwynwyl Gogerich Wrndrobl Llandysylio Bugagach is the longest name of a town in the world. 7. Can you believe the Brits invented speeding tickets? The very first speeding ticket was issued to a driver named Walter Arnold in Kent in 1896 after he was caught going 4 times the speed limit. As the speed limit was only 2 miles per hour, he was fined for reaching a top speed of 8 miles per hour. 8. It's thought that Ian Fleming used a bus route close to his home as inspiration for James Bond's codename. The route 007 used to go from Canterbury to the Kent coast. 9. Windsor Castle is the oldest and largest inhabited castle in the world, being in use since the 11th century. It's still one of the official residences of the Queen, as well as having some areas accessible to the public on tours. 10. Among Queen Elizabeth II's more bizarre titles is Seigneur of the Swans. Officially, the reigning monarch owns any unmarked mute swan in open water in both England and Wales, so most of the swans in Britain. 11. Continuing with our swan friends, did you know killing swans was made illegal in the 1980s? If you're caught, you'll face prosecution. It's thought only the Queen would be exempt from being penalized, so she could kill one and have it for dinner if she really wanted. 12. Wales' capital city Cardiff is known as the City of Arcades as it is home to the highest concentration of Victorian, Edwardian and contemporary indoor shopping arcades of any British city. 13. Great Britain is home to the shortest scheduled passenger flight in the world. The 2.7 kilometers flight from Westray to Papa Westray in the Orkney Islands in Scotland has a scheduled time of 1.5 minutes, although the record stands at 47 seconds. Tickets with Loganair start from £7.25 one way. 14. One of England's famous foods, the Cornish pasty, was invented for tin miners in Cornwall to eat on their shifts. There's a thick pastry crust which was used to hold the pasty, so that the miners didn't contaminate their meal with their hands. If you like this video so far, hit the subscribe and like. 16. The record for the world's shortest war is held by Britain and Zanzibar. The Anglo-Zanzibar War in 1896 lasted just 38 minutes. 17. The British drink more than 60 billion cups of tea a year, around 100 million each day. While the drink's origins go way back, it became a staple of the British culture in the 1700s, and by the middle of the 18th century, tea had replaced gin as the most popular drink in Britain. 18. Most people travel on the tube for speed and convenience, but there's one route in particular which is utterly pointless. If you travel from Leicester Square Tube Station to Covent Garden Tube Station, it takes longer on the Underground than walking, as the locations are minutes apart. 19. Shakespeare has been credited by the Oxford English Dictionary for increasing the number of words in the English language. It's thought that his vocabulary contained over 20,000 words, and around 3,000 of these were added to our language. 20. A Scottish mountaineer, Sir Hugh Munro, made a name for himself by compiling a list of mountains in Scotland measuring over 3,000 feet. While some of the newer surveys discredited a few of his mountains as being a little short, 283 on the list that were confirmed. This led to any Scottish mountain over 3,000 feet being referred to as a Munro. One of the most famous mountains in Scotland is Ben Nevis, 21, while Loch Ness may be famous for the mysterious sightings of Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie. It also holds the record for being the largest body of freshwater in Britain by volume. It also keeps a temperature of 6 degrees Celsius in temperature all year round, not even freezing in the coldest Scottish winters. 22. One of Britain's most bizarre events is the annual cheese rolling competition that takes place on Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire. At the top of the hill, a 3 kilograms double Gloucester cheese is sent rolling down. Competitors race after it, and the first to cross the finish line wins the cheese. The aim is to catch the cheese, but that's tricky when it reaches speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. Sadly, due to health and safety reasons, there were injuries, the cheese has been replaced by a foam replica. 23. The adder is the only venomous snake found in Britain, and according to the NHS, around 100 adder bites are reported in the UK each year, mostly in the summer months. They're not particularly dangerous, but a bite will cause mild discomfort. 24. While around 660 species of spider are found in Britain, the most poisonous is the false widow spider, which it's thought was introduced to Britain from the Canary Islands. They look pretty scary, but their bites are relatively harmless. 25. The Tower of London has had many famous inhabitants, but arguably the most famous are the 6 black ravens. Charles II wrote a royal decree which said that if any of the birds flew away, then the kingdom would fall. These days, they clip their wings to make it impossible. 26. While you'd assume the Queen has the power to go wherever she likes, she's not allowed to enter the House of Commons. This law has been in place since 1642. When King Charles I visited the Commons to arrest 5 MPs in the run-up to the English Civil War. When she does give speeches at the state opening of Parliament, she delivers them from next door in the House of Lords. 27. The Queen is also the only person from Great Britain who doesn't need to possess a British passport in order to travel. The royal family website states, as a British passport is issued in the name of Her Majesty, it is unnecessary for the Queen to possess one. All other members of the royal family, including the Duke of Edinburgh and the Prince of Wales, have passports. 28. The most famous British dishes include fish and chips, roast dinners, shepherd's pie, bangers and mash, and a classic full English breakfast. However, when polled on their favorite dish, Brits voted for chicken tikka masala. Incorporating Indian chicken tikka with a thick sauce, it's often seen as an example of Britain's multiculturalism. 29. Cockney rhyming slang is still used regularly across London and the East End, with many of the words and phrases containing words that rhyme with the words they're replacing. For example, dog and bone means phone, trouble and strife means wife, and apple and pears means stairs. 30. Buckingham Palace might be one of the most prestigious buildings in London, but did you know it was built on the site of a gay brothel? That surprised us too. We hope you've enjoyed learning all about this fascinating island in our fun facts about Great Britain. Let us know your favorite fact. And that's all for today's video about 31 things you didn't know about Britain. I hope you enjoyed learning more about this amazing country and its unique features. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Z Videos for more exciting content like this. And let us know in the comments below what you found most surprising or interesting about Britain. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.